Okay, so welcome. It is incredible to all see you in person. I have been catching up with people that I've seen over the course of the past 2 years, always on the screen, and you look different. It's not so true that, I mean, it's been amazing to be able to stay in touch, but it is incredible to be here again together and to see everybody and to be able to catch up and have again finally our annual conference. And there are so many people that contributed to making this event possible. I would like to acknowledge it. I would like to start from our amazing team over the past course of the years. It has expanded. Many of you know all these people through emails. I'm not sure that you have actually met them in person. So I would really like to give you the chance to see them, talk with them, discuss things with them. They are incredibly enthusiastic and passionate about what they do. Over the course of the past few months since April, I mean, there's some exciting news I will be discussing with you on the last day around regranting and other possibilities between our annual conference that we had in full summer and these other new possibilities. Everybody's really been working all the time to make everything possible, but they've been doing it just really with a sense of being really excited about what they do. So, I mean, any interest, anything that you would like to develop, anything you've been curious about, but you haven't really had the chance to understand exactly what it is or how to do it more. This is a chance to have conversations with them about projects, about ideas, about needs. I mean, we really need an expert paper on, or we have this aspect of the work that we would really like to do. And so this is really make the most of it, because we're really here and really, really happy to have as much input from you as possible, as you know, because we pester you with emails all the time and asking for feedbacks and things, but we know how busy everybody is. Sometimes it's hard when you're caught up with lots of things, but please take advantage of it now. So briefly, I don't even know where to start. Let's start with Berta Val, our research and development manager in our organization. Next to her, we have Jeanette Bongier, and we also extend a special thanks because she organized all our conference. She deserves it. And then we have Dimitra Minsidis, that's our amazing manager and financial. So all the development over the course of the past 2 years, all the projects that have been developed are all thanks to you, including an Horizon. We actually finally won, so with amazing work. Thank you for that. So then we have up on the top, we have Anna McKenzie, that's you've heard of and seen a lot. Our communication manager. She's probably the one that just is most enthusiastic about sort of knowing all kinds of the things that you're doing and developing and ideas. She's really always looking for ways to connect. So actually, if you have any ideas around that, we're really keen to hear that. And then we have our new 2 entries. We have Ola and Dure. Working on the reportment and development. Then we have, she's hiding, but Antonia Montanos, our membership officer. And Mirko must be hiding. There he is. All right, our new financial officer. Also, a relatively new entry that's doing an amazing job. Okay, somebody's missing because I haven't. Sandra, yes. Sandra Jovanovic Belovic, also. You probably know her because she's been a long-standing member of WWP. She was president for OPNA in Serbia, but she's now been working with us for the past year and a half, 2 years, in training and capacity building at the organization. So we are really, really proud, and especially Antonia and Jeanette, that were actively involved in the organization of the conference, have been working tirelessly to make everything smooth. And Jeanette is so concerned about the food and the breaks and she should come back to me, but can we have like a welcome drink? And but it's just this, and we can take it off the budget there, and come on, we want them to feel welcome, don't we? And so any special, anything that you have, you can thank her. That's all her, taking care of all the details and really doing it with so much love and care and affection that it's like, it is really like being back connected to family in many ways. So my dear brothers and sisters, we also obviously had the collaboration of the host organizations with Man and Men, and that's also been sort of an amazing journey. So thank you very much for all the work. There's been obviously DCU that's been active part of all the organization, the Department of Justice. And we also had a content preparation committee that has been working on putting together, finding the speakers, understanding how we wanted to address this issue that's relatively new for us, and so how we wanted to do that. And several of our members contributed to this. You're from Man Sweden, Lena Berg and Johan Nikola. From the UK, Justine Todds from Respect, Hannah Eriksson from ATV, Attila Ulligai from Women to Women, Jade Lewell from University of Bristol, John Doyle, Owen O'Neill, Fionnuala Collins from host organizations, Men's and Move. And we're also really happy to welcome Kirsten Leube, which I had the pleasure of meeting in Brussels, and is one of our officers at the EU, and we'll be giving some words of welcome. And Carmel Donnelly, which we've been working with on ongoing rhythm, and that's just been really, really nice. And so we're really happy to have you here. So I will at this point pass my welcome over to our partners in crime.
Thank you, Alessandra. Listening to you, good afternoon and welcome to Dublin. Delighted that you're all here. On behalf of the Men's Development Network and its board and staff, it's great to see such a good gathering of people in the one room, knowing that we're not all going to come out sick, hopefully, which is all really important. So it's great. So I'm really delighted that we get the chance to be here. It is our 25th year in the Men's Development Network, and so it's brilliant to be able to co-host an event like this during that type of a year like this with our co-host partners Move and also with WWP EN, which is fantastic. The other kind of thing I suppose I want to talk about today is just in terms of the theme of the conference, is from harm to hope. And also the direction around working with young people, which we think as part of our transforming masculinities concept of work, we see working with young men and young people as an integral part of us ending violence against women. So I think it's a really fantastic theme to work from today, and it's also cutting to the core of what really needs to be done. I'd like to say my last bit, just be very short, say thank you as well to the local coordination team, which between ourselves and Move. And I'll name the MDN people, and if they could all stand up together rather than individually, I would do that. So like we have John, we have Michael Hennessy, Marie Horgan, Roisin, I think Joe and Gavin would have been part of it as well. So if they like to maybe stand up and show their faces to everybody, it would be great. So I'm well done. We're all outside. Of course, as we know, all the people who are outside are the ones who are the most important people, aren't they? With you keeping everything a go on the way. So again, it's great to be in DCU. It's my old alma mater. So it's great to be able to come back here and to be a host for such a distinguished group of people. I know you're going to enjoy yourselves. And I know you're going to learn so much over the next couple of days, and delighted to be able to facilitate it. So listen, I'll hang your report there now. Cheers. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Sean. So I suppose, unfortunately, I don't know it off by heart by Sean, so you'll have to bear with me while I follow through it, okay? I had a few words of Irish as well, but Sean got in there, so I'd only be repeating it. So I'll just talk. I'm from Cork, by the way, so we talk quite quickly. So I'll try and slow down a small bit for everyone. Is that okay? Yes. Perfect. So my name is Padraig and I'm one of the directors of Move Ireland. And I suppose we'd like to, on behalf of Move Ireland, we'd like to welcome you all here today from wherever you've traveled, be it near or far. Move Ireland was established in 1989. Move Ireland was established in 1989. Perfect. Okay. Sorry, my voice wasn't loud enough there, so I'm getting cues from the back. As a response to growing needs to address domestic abuse and violence in Dublin City. And I suppose today we are the largest provider of domestic violence services in Ireland, and we're funded by Pobal and the Department of Justice. And I suppose we run perpetrator programs in 11 areas within the country. As leading organizations dealing with the issue of domestic violence and abuse and working with perpetrators, we all have a responsibility in addressing intimate partner violence and abuse effectively and in line with best practice. The central focus of Move Ireland has always been to enable men to take responsibility for their violence and abuse, to change their attitudes and behavior, and to learn how to have relationships that are based on love and trust rather than power and control. Within this, the promotion of the safety and well-being of women and children has been and always remains paramount. Most recent Irish research undertaken by Women's Aid in 2020, titled 1 in 5 Young Women Suffer Intimate Relationship Abuse. The abuse was perpetrated by a current or former partner, with 51% of women under the age of 18 having experienced abuse and having it started when they were under 18. This correlates with international studies and highlights how harmful this behavior is amongst younger generation. Irish Women's Aid research further highlights the devastating impact of harassment and online abuse through all social mediums. We in Ireland welcome the government's third national strategic strategy on domestic, sexual and gender-based violence as a response to domestic violence, and look forward to working closely with the Department of Justice in the coming years in supporting this. I would also like to acknowledge and thank all the staff from the WWP EN, Move Ireland. I know there's a few colleagues up here as well at the moment. I will refrain from naming names just in case I let anyone out, but look, you know yourselves anyway, and your work is instrumental, I suppose, and key to the success, I suppose, of Move delivering these programs. And we'd also like to thank MIND as well, and I suppose the collaboration that went on to bring this conference here this year. And I suppose, look, it's through all of their work that this event is happening. And I suppose, like Sean has indicated, you know, like We want you to make the best out of these 3 days. Ask questions, network, because it is a tremendous opportunity to have such a level of skill and knowledge within one room. So enjoy yourselves. Experience Dublin when the conference closes every evening. And I suppose also remember, Cork is only about 2 hours down the road. Okay? Thank you very much.
Okay, that was yes, for everyone to see the team. Better late than never. Okay, the institutional greetings now. Kirsten Leube, Gender Equality Unit, European Commission, and Carmel Donnelly from the Irish Probation Service. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I'll try to speak as loudly as everyone else. Quite impressed with the volume that you were able to produce. So thank you very much. And thank you for WWP EN for your invitation. And it's really an honor for me to be able to speak on behalf of the European Commission today. First of all, let me thank WWP EN and all of your members for your tireless work and your efforts in combating and preventing domestic violence. We're very proud as the European Commission to collaborate and support your work, and that we've been able to support your work from the outset and since the origins of this network. So already at its foundation in 2014, you were a truly European network with 30 members in 19 countries, and you've managed to double that network to up to 60 members in 33 countries. I'm looking at my notes because that's such an expansive network that we're really, really proud to be collaborating with, and such a huge effort what you've managed to develop over the last couple of years. And really your network truly reflects the European values and the fundamental values that we have. Not only is it a cross-border network, but of course also it resonates and realizes the fundamental principles of the European Union to realize full gender equality and freedom from violence for all. So, and in the area of domestic violence specifically, we have seen, and I have seen that in my short work as officer for this network, but also my colleagues before me. We have seen that you've taken on a leadership role in filling the gaps, both in knowledge gathering, but also in practical work on the most current issues. And I think what we've just heard in the areas of cyber violence, you spearheaded some initiatives, but also in working with perpetrators with a history of migration. So you really managed to tackle issues that are important at the European level. And we really acknowledge and trust in the work that you do, and we're very happy that we will continue this sturdy collaboration with your network, as you're one of our official framework partners under the European Values Strand, and Alessandra will probably be talking more about that throughout the next couple of days, but that really that will solidify our collaboration, which we're very, very happy about. And we in general agree that, of course, the fight against domestic violence requires a multi-layer approach, and this is why the proposal for a directive on violence against women and domestic violence, and to fight that violence, that the Commission proposed on the 8th of March of this year includes an obligation of member states to establish or maintain perpetrator programs. And as also is the case for the Istanbul Convention. And just maybe to mention that directive, if it comes into being, will also support and further, or provide further support also from the level of the European Union to the work that you're doing already. And in terms also that it takes a comprehensive approach in addressing victims' access to justice, protection, support, and prevention from violence. And also includes some of the current topics that I mentioned, such as cyber violence. And one of the important factors or important provisions that we've managed to include in the provision as well in this proposal is that we want to ensure that the member states work closely also with stakeholders like you, since you are the ones who have the experience on the ground and that show us exactly what the gaps are that we need to fill at the policy level when we are working with these issues. So I'm very grateful that I'm able to be here from the policy side, that I'm able to learn from you and from your experiences in the next 3 days. And I'll be very much in listening mode, and hope that I can take on some lessons learned back to my desk in Brussels. And so thank you very much for having me.
Good afternoon, everyone. And my name is Carmel Donnelly from the Irish Probation Service. I'm an assistant principal in the Probation Service. I'm a quiet cabin woman, so I hope you'll be able to hear me. I don't know if you can, but I will do my best to protect my voice. I'd like to welcome you all today to the Working with Perpetrators European Network Annual Conference, particularly those members who have traveled from all around Europe and those who are joining us online. And I see a few faces that I've met before to the domestic violence, the Confederation of European Probation and European Europris, which has a domestic violence expert group in place. So welcome to those as well. It's great to meet up again. So this conference is entitled From Harm to Hope, Youth Interventions Against Domestic Abuse, with a focus on reaching young people early and breaking that cycle of violence. The event is timely within the Irish context, as our Department of Justice, led by Minister Helen McEntee, has recently launched the third national strategy on domestic, sexual and gender-based violence. And its goal and guiding mission is zero tolerance for domestic, sexual and gender-based violence. Work with perpetrators has been included in various actions within previous strategies. And once again, we're glad to say is included in this third national strategy. I know that the Men's Development Network and Move Ireland, who deliver perpetrator programs in Ireland, are grateful for the consistent funding and support that the Department of Justice provides for this important work. The Probation Service, whose vision is safer communities and fewer victims by addressing offending behaviour and its root causes, acknowledges the important role which is played by NGOs in coordinated community response to domestic violence. A response that we hope and aims to put victims and survivors at the centre of this work. Within the Probation Service, we place a large emphasis on interagency cooperation. And we have a long history of collaboration with MOVE and the Men's Development Network. We both, or the three of us, sit on the Domestic Violence Intervention Perpetrator Steering Committee, which is housed within the Department of Justice. And we've worked together on many initiatives over the years, including the development of a referral and information exchange protocol, which guides our interventions as we work with perpetrators together. We also sit on that committee with the Child and Family Agency and the Department of Justice colleagues. So we've a lot of history and experience of working on an interagency basis, both across the statutory, voluntary and community sector, and hope to grow that into the future. The event is also timely within the Irish context, in that it marks the beginning of the second stage of a review of domestic violence intervention programs in Ireland. And this has been commissioned by the Department of Justice. The review is being carried out by the research team at WWP EN. Some of the colleagues are here today. A significant focus of this review is to prepare programs for the integration of the impact evaluation tool, which was mentioned earlier. Effective evidence-based practice being of utmost importance to us all. Programs in Ireland have always sought support and guidance from organizations who take a strong gender-informed approach to responding to domestic abuse and violence against women in general. Both MOVE and the Men's Development Network are members of Respect UK and the Working with Perpetrators European Network. And as members of the WWP EN, they acknowledge the significant developments made within that organization in recent years, under the leadership of Alessandra Pauncz, who joins us today. And they are delighted to be asked to host this annual conference. Initially, it was 2020, but was postponed because of COVID. But now it's great that everybody can join today in person, now that travel restrictions are lifted. We are joined today also by women's organizations such as Women's Aid and Safe Ireland representatives, and other NGOs and statutory organizations from Ireland. Organizations who tirelessly work together to tackle the insidious problem of domestic abuse. Worldwide, COVID-19, the pandemic lockdowns led to an increase in domestic violence cases and brought domestic violence into sharp focus societally, which on the one hand is good because it raised awareness about domestic abuse, but it also reminded us of the necessity to find ever more effective and interconnected ways of holding men to account and supporting them to change so that we can stop the cycle of abuse. The mix of speakers today and topics that will be addressed during this conference look very engaging, and it will be of practical value, I hope, to you all. And I wish you all a very successful and stimulating few days, and I hope that you will enjoy each other's company and have lots of opportunities to network. Thank you.